All right, I just wanted to do a quick update to yesterday's forecast for California, just because there has been some changes and there's now a flood watch popping up in Southern California. We'll just start off with the radar though. That's where the rain is at the moment. Looks like there's a band going from about Tahoe down to the central coast, and that's going to move through. Then there's just some lingering showers behind that. I think one of the first things to talk about though is the two different warnings that we have going on. One is a flood watch that's popped up for Southern California. You can see that's all the counties stretching from, I believe, San Luis Obispo down through Los Angeles, including Santa Barbara. And then we also have the winter storm warning up in the southern Sierra, because that is one of the places where we could see a bit more snow than what we have been seeing in Tahoe, which has been warm enough to mostly be getting rainfall. Now, you couldn't see it on that last map, but we do also have a hydrologic outlook over the Bay Area and the Central Coast. It's kind of a step down from a flood watch. It's basically saying with the continued rainfall, we could see some swelling of creeks or rivers, and there could be some minor flooding. But the fact that it's not on the key warnings map is a good sign, and it kind of looks like we'll talk about the rainfall totals when we look at the actual preset maps. But just a quick snapshot of the rainfall totals. This is what's expected through mostly Friday night into Saturday. Maybe another 2 to 3 inches for much of the Bay Area and Central Coast, it looks like. And then Southern California, that's the key place that we're going to be looking at, because that's where widespread areas could see 2 to 4 inches. And then some of the south-facing slopes could actually get 4 to 8 inches. So we're mostly going to be focused on Southern California, although we'll just go through NorCal really quick here, just because there could still be some impacts tomorrow morning, as you'll see. So what's bringing this rain? We've got this low. This is now we're now looking at the second low that's going to be dropping in. So this is more as we get overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. This second storm is going to drop down, and that's going to be bringing rainfall into the Bay Area and the Central Coast. You can see how you have this circulation around the low, and then that takes some of the moisture that you have and then pushes it into California. Now, the reason that's important is because that's exactly what's leading to the flooding that we could potentially see down in Southern California, just because this low looks to be lingering off of Socal for quite some time. So just like it did in NorCal, that's going to lead to continuous rainfall moving into places like San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, and Los Angeles. So I'd say that's the key question mark in the forecast, is how long is this low going to linger off of the California coast? If it moves a lot faster, then we're not going to see as much rainfall. If it does end up lingering as long as it's showing right now, then some places could pick up 4 to 8 inches of rain over the course of a couple days. So let's just look at Northern California really quickly here first, and then we'll get down into SoCal. Looks like we do have a little blue showing up this morning, a little bit more snow, closer to where you see that winter storm warning. Tahoe still looks like we're in the green getting rainfall. And then more snow up in the mountains, still looks light though. This second storm is going to be cooler than the first one, but it's still not the best snowstorm for the mountains. I guess it is in terms of impacts or negative impacts, then it would be a good storm. But for skiers and snowboarders, not the best storm up there. So it looks like we just have some lingering showers throughout the day today. Could be heavy at times, but it looks a bit more scattered than what we had as the front was coming through yesterday morning. But there is going to be this second wave from this second storm. It looks like it starts to go into Northern California maybe 10 p.m. tonight. And then it becomes a bit more widespread. You see a bit more of the moderate to heavy rain spreading out around the Bay Area and the Central Coast. That's 4 a.m. on Wednesday. And then 7 a.m. on Wednesday, that could be your commute time. And you notice that heavy rain band is directly over Marin County, San Francisco, stretching down into the Central Coast. So that could have some major, I don't want to say major impacts, but it could have some impacts on the morning commute on Wednesday. So getting all the way into Wednesday afternoon, it does look like we still have some heavy rainfall showing up for the Central Coast, but you notice it really moves out of Northern California by Wednesday afternoon. And then by Wednesday night, still getting some snow in the Southern Sierra, But then it's pretty much cleared up for NorCal by the time we get into Thursday morning. So let's just look at rainfall expected by tonight. Looks like not too much. San Francisco 0.4, San Jose 0.4, Chico 1.5 inches, 1 inch for Sacramento. And then as we fast forward through, let's go through Wednesday at 1 p.m. You can see that most of the rainfall that we're going to be picking up moving forward for Northern California is going to be overnight Tuesday, Wednesday morning into early Wednesday afternoon. At that point, San Francisco has picked up 2 inches, Santa Rosa 2.5, Chico 2 inches, San Jose 2 inches, Santa Cruz Mountains, that's in the red, so maybe 2 to 3 inches down there. And then if I go all the way through Thursday night, there's some lingering showers that could bring maybe another ½ inch to some of our cities. But it looks like, again, most of the rain for Northern California, and especially the Bay Area, Central Coast, falling overnight on Tuesday into Wednesday morning. And by Wednesday night, it looks like it's basically wrapped up for NorCal. So now let's go down into Southern California. Throughout the day today, just expected to see some light to moderate showers. Today is Tuesday. You notice it's just in that light green color. And then we start to see that front, again, move through the Central Coast. That's 10 a.m. on Wednesday. And then it's going to start to move down into Southern California. Looks like throughout the day Wednesday. And then what's key for Socal is how long you're going to continue to see pretty widespread showers, but then those areas of heavy rainfall where you have yellow to orangish color there, right there, that's pretty widespread. That's 10 p.m. on Wednesday. That's where the low would be directly off the coast, just funneling that moisture in to Southern California. And then it just sticks around maybe all of Wednesday, most of Thursday. That's all the way into Thursday, 7 p.m. We still have the potential for some heavy rainfall. And with this heavy rainfall, I was seeing that at times they're expecting up to 1 inch per hour. Now keep in mind, we just had the South Fire in this area, and that means a lot of the vegetation's been burned out, which means you don't have the root structures holding the hillside in place anymore. So if we get more than 0.5 inch per hour, that could lead to some mudslides, some debris flows. And then if you're picking up 1 inch an hour, that's also just overwhelms the soil's ability to absorb that. So that is where you can get some flooding. So we do have the flood watch down there. It looks like it's mostly wrapped up by Friday. There's still a little shower activity Friday morning, but then it looks like as you get later into the day on Friday, it starts to finally move off for Southern California. And good news, it looks like Christmas Eve and Christmas are going to be clear, or I shouldn't say clear skies, but at least not raining for California. So that's good news there for the holidays. Maybe when you're doing some holiday travel, we're not going to have this massive storm moving through. But I think Wednesday and Thursday will be the key days to watch for Southern California. And we could actually just break down the totals day by day. So by Tuesday, 10 p.m., Los Angeles has still only seen 0.2. And then if we fast forward to Wednesday at 10 p.m., Los Angeles 1.5 inches. Looks like Santa Maria around 1 inch. Then Fresno 1.5 inches. Then let's fast forward to Thursday at 10 p.m. That's where Los Angeles jumps up to around 3 inches. Oxnard maybe 7 inches. And some of the hills do have the potential for 8 inches, especially the south-facing hills. Santa Maria 1.5 inches. Bakersfield, just 0.5 inch there. And then if we go all the way through the storm, that's where Oxnard, maybe 8 inches. Los Angeles between 3 and 4. San Diego, about 1.5 inches. So that is why we have the flood watch in place. But one other thing that I should mention, there is still the potential for some gusty winds out there. It's not too windy though. You notice in our warnings, there's no wind advisories, but we'll see if we can see a wind advisory pop up for Southern California as this storm really starts to move in Wednesday and Thursday. Right there, if we click, that's about 35 mile per hour gusts. I was seeing that we have the potential for maybe some 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts, but it doesn't look like wind is going to be a huge factor with this storm. I'd say it's more so the fact that we're picking up moderate to heavy rainfall for such a long period of time. That's where it can lead to some flooding. It's also not a huge storm in terms of snowfall. If we just click all the way through here, that's through Friday, 7 p.m. Even though the second storm is the colder of the two storms we've seen this week, higher elevations, maybe get a foot, maybe 2 feet above 8,000 feet. But yeah, it looks like the storm's still a bit warm, and that's because it's bringing in this air from the south instead of just pulling down a bunch of cold air from the north. So again, main thing that I'm going to be watching over the next couple days is the Socal rain map, although we're still not totally out of the clear for Northern California either. Looks like we could have maybe another 2 to 3 inches, and most of that falling during your Wednesday morning commute. So I'll have more forecasts to come, and we'll keep an eye on all this rainfall for California. So thanks for watching.